Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Made with Love. My name is Heather and today is Saturday, November 30th of 2024. And so today is day 11 of my 12 days of Christmas ornaments. And I've seen people make these before, and I didn't have to make them because I've got those stacking ones that I use. I'm not sure where they are, they're packed. But you need like 6 of these square wreath forms from the dollar store and zip ties, and everybody just zip ties them and makes them all the same, size. And what I like is these have 3 separate little squares in here connected by these little other pieces. So what I decided was I like the idea of being able to make these stackable. So you need 6 of these, and when you cut out the middle pieces, I just did a rough cut. I still have some of these extra little pieces to snip off. I was just testing it, but you will end up with 6, like for each one of these you will get 3 squares, and each square, as you can tell, are different sizes. So my idea was to cut 6 of these apart to get the 3 different sizes. And now I can actually make a stackable little set of presents. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm just going to continue cutting these off. I just wanted to just make sure, just thought I'd do one before I cut them all. So I have a really big pair of wire snippers here. And so that's all I'm going to do is just cut these out. I was just curious if I could do more than one at a time. I'm just going to turn my camera around like this. And just line it up and cut through. Now I did find I had to some of them I had to cut more than once because it's got a coating on here. So, no, I'm not going to be able to cut through 2. I can't get it lined up right. But it's got this protective coating. I do have to go a couple times to get this cut through. And then, so I will do this to all of them. I'm just going to snip all these off. It's going to take a few minutes to do this. When I get all 6 cut into the 3 pieces, I will be back. Right, I've got all these cut, but I had one that kind of snapped here on me, so I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue and just see if that will help hold it together for now. I don't know if that's going to work. Might just hold it together just enough that I can kind of get these together. Now some of these I went as close as I could with my wire cutters. Mine are really big, so I couldn't get all the way right next to this bar to clip these off, so a lot of these still have the little nodules on them. So I'm now going to take the smallest size, so I've got 6 of them. So I'm going to attach these to make the box. Just going to set them down. I'm just going to put the zip ties in each of the corners. I'm not going to pull tight, I just want to get the basic shape together. I will pull tight as I'm going to actually get them shaped. So first I'm just going to get 4 attached. Like I said, I've seen people make these a lot in recent years, but I've never seen anybody actually cut these apart. So this is going to be, this was an idea I had because I have a set of stacking presents. I thought it'd just be kind of neat to have, 3 different sizes of these little boxes. Take these a little bit tighter. Using some black zip ties, and I figure it's just gonna kind of blend in a little bit better. Of course, these now want to fall off the table. So I've got the 4 attached. So now I'm just going to make it into the square by just pulling this up. Oops. Well, that's the one that broke. Okay. I'm just going to zip these 2 together, and I'll put a little bit more hot glue on that spot. There, so now I've got the cube. You could keep it like this, but for stability, I do want to put the extra pieces on. Okay, so I'm just going to put some more hot glue here. This. I'm going to, oops. If I can, try to pull these zip ties out a little bit tighter now that I've got this basic cube built. And this is not going to hold. This hot glue is not going to hold because it just wants to bend on me. For some reason, my zip ties don't want to tighten. They just all are coming loose on me. Pulling as tight as I can, I think. Try this again. Oops. Okay, the zip ties just want to slide and undo. Attach these one up here on the top, and I'll be back when I get this looking more like a square, and I think that's why I need some zip tie, this one on the top and on the bottom, and then I will assemble the other 2, and I will be back when I get all these assembled into the cubes. Yeah, see, that's what it needs. As soon as I got that one in place, look at that. I can get these all attached. starting to look like a cube now. So I said I'll be back as soon as I get all of these attached. Right, so I've got all my cubes made. So I've got 3 zip ties in each corner. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing to finish these. So I'm just snipping off the end pieces to the zip ties. And then I'm just reinforcing them a little bit of hot glue, just so they don't slide around on me. And this is the one that had the, I don't know, where the wire just kind of snapped. It's where they would have formed it with the squares. It's where the two, like where the one piece would have joined up with the other side. So when I snapped the extra pieces off, it just broke there. So I hot glued it. The hot glue wasn't really holding it in place, so I just put a zip tie there and then just a little bit more hot glue. Just going to keep doing this with these ones, just snipping the ends and reinforcing it with just a little bit of hot glue, just so they don't keep sliding around on me. And I can just kind of squish them together, and the hot glue will kind of hold them into place as well. I'm just going to do this last couple here, and then I got to do the same to the other ones, and then I will be back and it'll be ready to assemble these to look like stacking presents. So I've got them all done, and they actually will nest inside each other for storing, but you want to stack them to get them out of each other. When you want to stack them, you just stagger them like on the side, and they will just stack. So now I get to cover these. So to cover them, I am going to use, I just have a bunch of this tulle and I have mesh. So I'm just going to figure out which colors I want to use. This is what I have down here. I've got the pink, the purple, and I have a little bit of this gold one, and I don't think there's enough of this gold for that one. I thought I would have more, but so I just have to run upstairs and figure out what tulle or mesh I'm going to cover these with, and I'll be back when I'm ready to cover them. Just thought I'd give a different view just so you can see them, how they look stacked. And I guess if you want to keep this very simple, like an outdoor thing, you could just wrap these in the Christmas lights and they would look good. But I want to use these inside, so I want to wrap them. So I'll be back in just a few moments. Right, so I've got my 3 cubes here all made. I hot glued them. I've given them a few hours to dry. I also decided to come upstairs, this way when I'm doing the next part I can watch TV. Crafting can take hours sometimes, but I'm just going to show this is the small one, and then here's the medium size one and the large. So I said those 6 square wreath forms from Dollar Tree. I bought them a couple years ago. I'm just trying to use up what I have instead of going out and buying a whole bunch of new stuff. So actually I bought these I think a couple of years ago. I was really into making wreaths a few years ago. I haven't made any for a while, but I just thought this would give me such a beautiful Christmas decor and use up some of those wreath forms in a different way. Like I said, I've seen other people make these cubes with those wreath, or with the wreath forms, but all just one piece. So I just thought it'd be kind of fun to try and see if it worked, and it works. So now I have to decide what color or what I want to cover these with. So like I said, when I was downstairs, I have this pink and this purple tulle, which I thought was okay. It goes with my color scheme this year. but it's not quite right. I was like, do I have anything else? So I grabbed my bag of all my different deco mesh that I have. Just trying to figure out what colors. And I really like this blue. Like I said, I don't know how much is left on these rolls. These are all just, some are brand new, some are well used. So I've decided what easiest way to wrap these cubes. I'm just gonna this for a second, just get a little closer, the camera down. So the easiest way to wrap this is, it is 6 sides. So I will wrap it in 3 sides. So I'll do going this way. So I'll wrap the left across the top and to the right as one solid piece. And then cut that off and then wrap it the other 3 sides. Because you know, if you have 3 sides and 3 kind of like, you get like a cube. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but a cube has 6 sides. So I'm going to wrap 3 sides and then turn it and wrap the other 3. So I'm just wondering if I have enough to do this one in this blue. So of course it's getting stuck all on itself and this cube. So I need enough to make sure that it's going to go over. So that will do 3 sides. And then I'm just going to roll it down, and yes, I can do the one in this blue. I really like. Then I gotta find 2 more coordinating colors. I've got the red. Oh, what is that? Oh, an Easter egg. Like I said, sometimes you need to surprise what you find. I also have this purple. I think I really like the purple and the blue. And what did I have? I thought I saw a silver. I like the red, but I like the purple better. Do I have a silver? Oh, I have silver and I have this purple. You know, I'm gonna use this purple because it's already opened. Then I can just keep this big sealed roll for another project. And I'm one of those people who, if I can find already, you know, opened rolls, use them first. And this silver, I think that's a good color combination. So I'll put the blue on top, the purple on the bottom, and the silver will be the middle. I just have to make sure that there's enough of this purple to do middle, and that elastic just snapped. So like I said, like the dollar store sells this stuff, so does Michael's, but also don't forget a secondhand store. So I don't remember when I bought this, but I paid $1.99 at Value Village. Okay, let's see. So I was gonna do the biggest one with this if possible. So that was the other thing, just making sure that this is wide enough to go across. It definitely will be. So now I just have to measure, go around about 3 sides to about here. I'm gonna go 3 plus a little bit more. It's actually probably more like enough to do 4 sides. And then just from here, of course it wants to roll up on me. So put this to need to double it. From here, I have enough to double it. I hope so. Looks like I'm gonna have just enough. It's like almost at the end of the roll. Perfect. That's all I needed to know, is that I'd have enough of this one. There we go. So I'm just going to just cut these pieces to the size I need them, and I will be back when they're cut and ready to assemble. Right, so I've got all 6 pieces of mesh cut out. So I'm just going to realign this one up. got my glue gun ready, so I'm just gonna glue these in place. Actually, I don't think I'm in the view, am I? I'm trying. There we go. So I'm just gonna put some hot glue. Just gonna glue these into place. The glue goes right through the mesh, so just be careful that you don't squeeze the mesh right where the tip of the glue gun is, or the hot glue itself. Just burn my finger and my thumb at the same time. Okay, and then I'm just gonna flip this over this way, do it the same. A little bit trickier trying to get the next piece on. Make sure I get it lined up. I'm going to flip it over. There we go. Just the same thing. Just put the glue. Pull this up and glue it into place. Same for this last one, just some hot glue, and roll and glue this into place. And it will look like this. So there is one of the cubes done. I'm going to wrap the other two the exact same. Pretty easy to do, just kind of wrapping it around and hot gluing it into place. So I'll be back as soon as I get the other two wrapped. It's not that it takes long, it's just my fingers are covered in glue. I gotta go peel this glue off my fingers, and I'll glue the other two, and then I'll be back to do the finishing embellishments. Okay, so I've got 2 spools of different shades of green ribbon. I have no idea where I got these from. So this one's a lime green with gold, and this is just a dark green with green. So I'm just looking at these gifts here and find which one I like best. I think this dark green looks good with the purple and the blue. So I'll use this one on the small one and the large one, and I will use this one on the middle, and then I'll make a big bow with whatever amount of ribbon is left. Okay, so I'm just measuring around the sides. I'm just gonna hot glue this in place. And I'm gonna make another piece around the other way. I'm gonna do that to all of them. My camera just tipped over. I will fix that in a second. Right now I just got hot glue in my hand. Okay. So I've got this one half done. I'm just gonna do the same thing to the other ones and I'll be right back. So this is the other green and gold ribbon I have. So I'm just going to cut this down into smaller pieces. It's easier to work with. And then I'm going to make some bows out of this. So I just cut into kind of 4 equal pieces. It makes it a lot easier to work with. I'm just going to move my camera down so you can see what I'm doing. So I've got this one piece, I'm folding it in half. And I'm going to make these loops like this and glue it together. So I'll have one, oops, not even in the view of the camera. Okay, let's try this again. So I've got this one piece of ribbon. I folded it in half. I'm going to fold this to here, this one to here. I'm going to glue that in place. So I will end up with a big loops like that. And I'm going to take this ribbon here and I'm going to fold it in half. For this one I'm going to cut it in half. And I'm going to do the same thing with these ones here. I'm going to find the middle of these and then fold each of these in half. So I'm kind of making this layered bow. So I will glue those together and same with this one, this, and like this. I'll glue these all together and then I'm going to take them when they're all glued and I'm going to layer these up. There's the camera there. So I'll have these layers, although this one here looks like it's going to be too big. So I'm going to this down in half. I think I prefer having them a little smaller. These just look kind of big. There. I'll do 4 bows like this. I'll just layer them up on top of each other. Again, I know I'm not even in the camera. I'm trying to figure this out. Where do I have to position the camera so you can see what I'm doing? Okay, so I'm just going to do this again. So I've got 4 pieces here. They're roughly the same size. So marked where the middle is. I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue down the center, glue this down, some glue on the center, glue this side down, so then I get the loops for the bow. Do the same for these other 3. I'm going to save these 2 long pieces for the tail. I kind of like this wired ribbon, just having the wires in there makes it so much easier to try to get the loops, and they will stay, keep their shape. I got these 4 loops made. Now I'm just gonna glue the loops on top of each other. That, and then when I pinch, and then I can flip these up, and I'll get this really nice full bow. Like that. So I'm just going to attach this to the top, and I'm going to make the I'll be back to make the tails. All right, I was just playing around with this, just trying to get this bow to look a bit better before I attached it. Now I'm going to make the tails for it, but I just have to figure out where on the top of this I want it to go. Just going to figure out where the top of this. That's the bottom, so this is the top. I think I like this spot here. I'm gonna glue this on closer to the, not quite in the center, just because of the way this is sagging. So I'm gonna have this actually glued closer to the edge here. I kind of use this bar here to help hold it in place. Okay. So now that is attached. So now I've got these other pieces of ribbon here. So I'm just going to make the tails, which are really easy. I'm just going to fold this in half. Good length, and then I'm just going to do a little twist. So then the front, they will both be facing the same with the material outside of the ribbon on here. I'm just going to glue that into place. I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. Just kind of fold it in half. I got to do a little twist. Sometimes I can do this, sometimes my hands are covered in glue, so ribbon stuck to my finger, so it's kind of fine for the halfway point is. I just kind of roll it around each other so I get the material come to this both to the front. And I just put some glue in there as well to help hold that in place. Two sets of tails made. And I'm going to dovetail. Same to this one, so you just fold it in half and then you just cut from the folded to the unfolded, and you'll get the nice little triangle cut out. And now I'm just going to glue these tails underneath the ribbon. One thing with this being hot glue is if you make a mistake, you've got a few seconds to grab it and try again. Just re-fluff up the bow because I just squished it when I did that. I'm just going to stick this back up on top of here. I'm just going to position the presents and I'll be back to show you what they look like. Alright, so there they are. I'm going to have to find somewhere else for them. I've had to move, like, the cat bed. So it's they're quite tall. I'm going to grab my measuring tape and I'll let you know how tall it stands. But there's everything else that I have made. This is day 11 of my 12 days of Christmas ornaments. So my tree is getting full. Under my tree is pretty full. So I'm just going to grab the tape measure and I'll be right back. Okay, so the top of the bow is about, about a good 40 inches. So my tape measure is a little bit crooked and it's kind of hard to do this. One hand filming, one hand holding the tape measure. But yeah, it looks like to the top of the bow is almost 40 inches, maybe about 41 inches high. So, you know, definitely over 3 feet tall, just if you anybody interested in want to make it, and approximately how high it is. I mean, it's about almost the height of the cat scratching post. Okay. Oops, my hand's in the wrong spot. Sorry about that. Again, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who subscribing to my channels and watching my videos, and I'll see you in the next ones. Bye.